welcome to Ritual Yoga with me, Richie. In this video we are going to be looking at Warrior 1 and or Crescent Lunge. Warrior 1 is also known as Virabhadrasana. Crescent Lunge is also known as Anjaneyasana. Again, not too important the names, but more to understand how to do the pose well and which variation works well for you. So the way I teach this to beginners is more of the crescent lunge pose. In either pose, you're going to want a deep bend in that right knee and your left leg going back. So the full traditional Warrior 1, the back heel is on the floor. The hips are still more or less side by side. And you're really facing forward here in your hips. Now the reason I don't teach this very often is because I feel there's a lot of subtlety involved here in the relationship between the hip and also keeping the outside edge of that back foot on the floor. So the full traditional Warrior 1 looks something like this: head back, hands together, eyes looking up. You get a deep bend in your neck as well. And your heart is working, pushing the blood up to your fingertips. You get a bit of a stretch in your shoulders. So usually I teach this, especially to beginners, in the more crescent lunge variation. I feel this position is easier to understand. So with the back heel lifted, in which case your back heel is in line with your leg, your heel and your foot. Just be careful not to turn or have it half up or half down. In either variation, you want both hips facing forward and a nice deep stretch here inside your hips. Aim to have your front knee all the way forward above your front ankle. If you have any knee pain or knee injuries, then you might choose to come back a little bit like this. But only do that if you're consciously doing so. Otherwise, really you can sit down and get a nice deep stretch in your hips. If you're tight around your hips, then it might benefit you to bend your knee just a little bit here, just to release a bit of that tension. You'll find if you lock your leg like this, it might increase the stretch in here, which might be too much for you. If you find this too strong in general, you can also put your back knee down and come down into a lower lunge with your arms up if you're in a class and other people are doing this version. If you fully understand the traditional version with your foot back down and you're able to do it without pulling your hips open like this, also fine. So from here, strong in your core, and as you inhale, lift your arms up. So you'll notice here my shoulders are down, so make sure you're not bunching your shoulders up around your ears. Feel that opposition as well, like somebody is holding your shoulders down at the same time, pulling your arms up. And then in this pose, you can imagine that you're holding like a big inflatable ball with your hands, so your fingers are active and strong. If someone comes and pushes your fingers, they shouldn't just bend like this. You want strong, active hands. It's a very strong pose, this one. Breathe your awareness into your core here. And as you exhale, send your awareness all the way to your toes and your fingertips. There's a little bit of balance involved in this pose as well. So it might help you to keep your eyes fixed on just one tiny point somewhere in front of your eyes. But really stay strong here out to every part of your body and breathe slowly and deeply to find a sense of ease in the pose. So if you prefer to do this, if you're very tight in your shoulders, you can also try this variation. Your elbows bent, it'll give you a nice opening in your chest. Or you can still do the same as reaching up, but maybe just with a bit more of a bend in your elbows. So these are some other variations. So that's it for Warrior 1 or Crescent Lunge, these two different but very similar poses. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for joining me here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll see you back here soon. Thank you.